back to the free-to-play account. I don't know if we'll finish this, but let's go ahead and start it. So yeah, we're going to start a traditional draft Ravnica Allegiance and see how far we get in it today. Woo, hot pack, hot pack. Bedeck, Bedazzle is probably going to be our pick. Love me some Trollbred, though. Still, Bedeck is a fine play, and as a split card, it goes into, 4 different archetypes in the format, so you got to snap that up. Deckmaster. I can reload it. Oh, and also, let's get to draft view, and I'll give Deckmaster a reload here in case that helps. Thank you, Diablo. Yeah, I still can't vote, so I guess we just have to talk about it. For the gem grind and the solidness of the card, we will start with the rare. All uncommons, nothing to look up on the print run, and do we see... I don't see anything that is amazing with our first pick. Ill-Gotten is fine, but we don't need to skew ourselves towards Ill-Gotten Inheritance just because we opened on Bedeck Bedazzle. We should just take the best card here. Might be Skyguard. Skyguard edging out Arbiter for my favorite card here, for best card here. So let's take the Skyguard. Depose is fine, but it's actually dropped in my estimation. Not that it's bad, just that I was higher on it when we started than I am now. Grotesque Demise leaps out at me here, but let's do some print running before we settle. Rally and Drill Bit. Looks like Rakdos Firewheeler was taken out of this pack, so we may not end up playing the Bedeck, but we'll take the Demise. Maybe we will. Grotesque Demise sure goes with that pick. Mockery is not the pick, but we're going to look up print runs. Mockery and Incubation are surrounded by Pitiless Pontiff and Cry of the Carnarium. Cry rarely goes before pick 4, so we can assume that Pitiless Pontiff was taken out of the pack here. Jester's on Depose. Interesting, yeah. I don't know. Depose has just been okay for me. I'm happy. I'll play every single one I get and happily take them in like the 3rd to 5th, 6th range, but I like Skyguard better as a starting point. Carrion Imp is probably the pick here. Maybe not. Let me back off on that. It's pretty average, actually. We could even do something like hedge towards a Plaza in case we want to be... right now we have Esper Control elements together here, so we could end up Esper Control. Courier is fine, but I think I'm going to take the Plaza. Let's keep options open with a Plaza. Here we have a Skewer that leaps out at me. Here's again a Plaza Guildgate, but there's a Scorchmark and a Skewer. We know that the bots undervalue Skewer, so that's not a big surprise, but I think it puts us in this direction here. Unfortunately, it's not a late Skewer by bot standards. Bots could easily be taking red cards and just have passed on this one, but this is an easy Skewer. Final Payment and Guildgate and Expose. Like, if we don't play this, if this weren't our pick right now, then I'd be thinking Final Payment and continuing down this Esper direction. So let's not be blinded by the Skewer, and let's take the Final Payment and keep the Esper Dream alive. I didn't check print runs that last pack. Don't know if we missed an opportunity there or not. On the Esper Dream front, I guess we would rather have the Courier over the Duelist, but maybe the Duelist is correct. I just don't see us as being heavy blue anywhere. So, actually, I think I might take the Roustabout, because another thing, if you look at the picks so far like this, it's like we're not going to play Skyguard down Roustabout, but I think Roustabout is actually the pick here. I don't feel like we're getting this strong Azorius signals is the thing. So I'm going to take Roustabout on that hedge. Seems like well, I don't know. Like if we were in Azorius, I'd be happy with a Sky Tether, but now we've leaned towards Rakdos, and there's a Fireblade Artist. So I think this could have broken in some different directions, but I think we also need to... We can keep the final payment. If we get the... gates to support it, we could, but I think I'm going to lean into Rakdos here now. Yeah, we could be Mardu. That's the thing. That's why I'm leaving the payment in, but I think mostly you just want to be lean and mean if you're Rakdos. Like, I want the Vandal here over, like, the Consign. I think we found the right seat. I mean, there was a Rakdos uncommon, the Fire Whirler was taken out of an early pack, but maybe they didn't end up there. Yeah, this is an easy Trumpeter. I was just kind of looking around. This might even be a Drill Bit over Fiend. Fiend is very good, but I'm into Drill Bit in aggro Rakdos. I'm going to take it. Partly because I never play it and I want to try. I'm going to take... Well, there's Active Treason, but Mockery is just, a little more expensive for a better active... well, not... Is it better? I'm going to take it. It's got Vault Progress. We'll put it in the board. Oh, I should have just... I took Vault Progress there, but I could... if we do splash white, I should have taken the Aura, the enchantment removal. Biogenic Ooze. Only own one. We're going to take it for Vault Progress. Or, sorry, for... progress towards... Oh, it's like the cost isn't high either. There's not really anything Rakdos-y here that we're going to be too sad about other than the Enforcer. I mean, I don't think we're going to play the Ooze, but we can try. We'll take it and see. If we get enough plazas, I would do it. But the activation is triple green, so let's... Let's be sensible, but we'll take the Ooze, and we'll even keep it there. That is so rude. You know what? Like, sound effects guy, I like your work, but please don't make the game fart at me. I just don't need that. Even if it's Ooze farting or whatever, I don't need that. Wow! So, what do we do now? Mass Manipulation is off the table. We could take it for gold, for gems. Plague White, get the point, I guess. I got all excited about the Mass Manipulation, but I think we're just on get the point or Plague White. Plague White might wheel. So yeah, let's take the get the point. Sorry, Mass Manip. Also, taking the manipulation for the gems is probably sensible, but I'm going to go ahead and take the card for our deck. And yeah, I think the white might wheel. I think we ended up in the right seat. Give it a try. I don't think we're doing this. We'll remember it's there, but let's be realistic. I don't think we're doing that. Gate here sets up possible final payment. Now, we're not taking the Ram, but I will take the Gate. You all really think that just the presence of Biogenic Ooze makes this a Jund deck? I just don't think that's correct. I think you guys are blinded. Anybody... yeah. I think there's some people who are serious about thinking we should be looking to go green, and some people are just like, lol, all in on Ooze. There's more of a legitimate in-between type question, but I think we're just too far into aggro Rakdos here to get away from that. So I'm going to take the gate to support White Splash and try to be Mardu here and not get distracted by this green. There's another get the point, but I'm going to take the Vampire. It's perfect for the deck. Here's another gate to allow us to get that white in. Here's a white we could get in also, but there's Hackerbat to consider also. White just might be better than Hackerbat is the thing. Yeah, white is a sure thing 2-drop, and Hackerbat is a maybe 2-drop, so let's take the sure thing 2-drop. And here's a sure thing 2-drop. We could even splash off the Plaza, potentially. Sure thing 2-drop. Or another final payment. Or another gate. I think we just take a sure thing 2-drop, actually. Maka's pretty weak here, relative, but it's what we want to do. Carpe wants the gate. Maybe it's early enough to take the gate over the Maka. Really want to make sure we end up with our 2s, though. We have 4, though. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think we have enough 2s that we don't have to be desperate for the Maka here. So then it's gate or payment number 2. And with 2 guild gates, we do have kind of like final payment here. Yeah, I'm going to take final payment. Pick up a fine. Why does a Grudian yell at you? I don't know. White came back as predicted, including Bladebrand and Guild Gate, but we're not taking those. Slam the white. We have Mockery. Could add an act to that in the board. But another 2 we hope to upgrade. Makes sense to me. Great, found a Dead Revels. Hoping we find that as well. Vamp. Maybe main deck, but I'm going to start it hopefully in the board. Wrecker, not a bad late pack pickup, and a last pick Vampire, also fine. Still throw it down there. Hero for the rare, for the gems, and what does that cost us? Like a Racketeers or a Gate, or yeah, we can actually just take the gems here, I think. I don't think we're going to play this. Oh, but Clamor Shaman is... I hate trying to... Shaman is just, oh, that makes me cringe, but then I end up saying that because of Clamor. Clamor Shaman. Let's go ahead and take the excellent card for our deck here over the 20 gems. We'll take the Fireblade and wheel the white. It's not unplayable, but it's not good either. I'm not going to pretend it's good. Scorch Mark for the lowdown, or Grasping Thrall on the splash. I don't even think we have a 5 yet. Oh, we have the 1/5. This kind of goes here. I like Thrall on the splash here over the Scorch Mark, I think. No jugglers yet. That's annoying. Gates Ablaze is non-bow for us. Still no jugglers. This is a juggle-free situation. Not sure how many gates we want to play, given how aggro we're trying to be, and given that we're using these. We definitely want to use these gates to get our final payments played. So this could be a Maka spot. Or a Recluse spot. We just added a Thrall at 5, though. I'm down with Maka. was really hoping to see something we wanted to see here, but we got nothing we want to see here. Maybe we do a spewer, but we're not even really doing spectacle. I guess we take the Rafter Demon. Not great, but we might have to run it. Ooh, did we get a Daggercaster combo? No, it looks like we didn't yet. Flames is an option here, though, as just straight up... Like, if we already had the Blade Brand, maybe we take the caster. But, 4 damage. Let's see, do we have anything that's going to make it big? Should start from this end. Rafter Demon turns it on. But, like, that's it. And we are hoping to not play the Rafter Demon. Okay, I'll take Daggercaster for cost. Oligarch is tempting because of our attempt at White Splash, but we're not really splashing a 2-drop. We can take a Scavenger. I like Scavenger in the board for aura-based removal, bringing that in. Here's a much better 2. And another Maka we could consider. How about a Storm Strike, though? Now that I think we're good on 2s, maybe we should take a Trick. Because we can, like, cut one of these. Oh, I gotta do it this way. Yeah, I'll take the Trick here. Another Plague White. Woo! Well, we did not get our Jugglers, unfortunately, but the deck has some stuff going on. Let's take a Slinger. Something to block in the air. I guess Transport over Recluse. What do you think about that choice? Recluse is actually we're not gonna play a 6. We might play a 5 though. So let's get the Recluse. And Spewer could be good in the right matchup. And here's an Expose we do get to add to our board. A mere 20 gems of grind. That's kind of weak. But we went for deck quality. But there you go. Like, I think I under rare drafted if you're trying to really optimize for your gems. We have a lot of playables, so there's some solid playables, some excellent cards we took that we could have gemmed up for instead and just used one of these solid playables we're gonna have to cut instead. And we're on 410. Let me add a line in the spreadsheet. This is free to play and traditional draft RNA. All right, opened on 20. No, we didn't have. We had 2 mythic rares, so crafting the ooze wouldn't have gotten us there. And we had one. We had 1 ooze and 2 wild cards. But it's still a useful rare draft because we're just that much closer to 4xing the account. So effectively, this gets us to a 40 gem result from from a booster pack one pick sooner. You know. Yeah, we're not splashing the U's. Sit down. Might not even splash the final payments. Maybe we're just supposed to. Not splash at all. Makes me wish we had those gates, but that's probably correct. To just bail on the splash and be super duper on point. We like cut a Rafter Demon. Yeah, Gravel Hide could be a cut, the other cut, and then we're still doing all right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2-drops. Yeah, 8 2-drops is great. And again, we're not even like turning on Jugglers per se, but still, you definitely want to be dropping 2s. when you are Attackdos. On that front, we could actually start Groody on the bench and a vampire main on the theory that we want to be attacking and this is defensive and we'll bring it in when we see green decks and start here with the higher power. Yeah, I think I like that. There's also an argument for like Scavenger over Daggercaster to start with until we know that the Daggercaster is going to do good work. But also a Daggercaster can come in and finish stuff after an attack, so we'll start it in the board for now, but not certain about it. We could also go to 16. We only have 2 5s. Could even do something like that. Cut one of the 5s and just go even more streamlined. We have another vampire we could put in also. I still like Mockery out of the board when we know we are playing against big stuff. But we'll definitely bring it in if we're playing against big stuff. What do you think of 16 versus 17, chat? Do you like this? Do you like this build, or should I go back, cut Grudian, and Scavenger, add back a land, and put in the Recluse? That was where the other thing we do. Actually, I think we need that. Yeah, deck info, 16-7. Why is there a drop down? I think I like this method. I think I like... Got Revels, you know, we got stuff to do with some mana if we get a Revels. I don't want to be short. Flooding really hurts this deck, though. That's the tension. But I don't want to sit here staring at the deck. I want to play Magic. So let's try this and see if 17 feels good. Do that. Switch the view. Eight 2-drops, none of them are here. 4 lands in the opener feels a little floody. And we don't have anything aggro, but we also need to, you know, we're going to draw some cards. And basically all of our deck is cheap stuff. So I'm going to risk keeping this. We might flood, we might stumble and not cast a 2. But I can't throw that back. Yeah, bad news, but I took my chances. Ugh. Daggers. Dagger casters. Not really worth skewering a Grudian, I don't think. So, doing nothing till turn 4, but there you go. We'll throw down the caster no matter what, and trade it for the Grudian if need be. maybe they do us a favor and play a couple of 1 toughness creatures right here. Go for it, Oppo. 1 toughness. Here we go. That's not 1 toughness. Well, we have an alternate play now because... Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to go... we'll put the roustabout down. The reason I'm doing this is because we have the potential next turn. We have a Storm Strike up, so we could just take out the Grudian if Oppo attacks into us with it. And next turn, we get to attack and Skewer and Daggercaster all. And all those things seem really good to me. Ooh, Rubble Belt Recluse is also an interesting play here. Trouble is we don't get Skewer, Dagger, and Storm Strike, so if we attack in with the Roustabout and Oppo chooses to block with the Grudian, actually we're fine with that. I'm not going to Storm Strike if that happens. We'll just let that go. I was thinking I would Skewer the Messenger, it would make a token, and then cleverly the Daggercaster would get it, but it's just more important to Skewer the Windstorm Drake. And so I'm going to lose... We could also Recluse now and do that whole play next turn. We would take 6 in the air and go to 9, and then be threatening with a... If we play the Recluse, Oppo is going to plan likely to deal with it with a Grudian. I actually like that. We're going to do that. Let's do this. We go a little bit low on life, but hey, we're Rakdos. We can do this. And they may be trying to race, in which case, okay, they send in their flyers. Block it is a good thing to see. It means they're not really adding to the board pressure. And they don't have 2 blue, so we're not facing Thought Collapse. Alright, so Juggler is going to trade with Roustabout. But Recluse gets to Storm Strike away the Grudian, and then we get to do Skewer and Daggercaster after that, if we want. Just making sure nothing new here changes that play. Nope, I like it. So they're going with the race such that they don't want to trade the Juggler. I understand that too. That makes some sense from their perspective. We're going to go with Skewering the Flyer. Actually, what do we have? Nothing dead yet, really. And so I am just going to play the Caster here. Block the Juggler if given the opportunity. Ouch. Messenger's real pressure, but we have real pressure too, and we get to get back our Recluse if we want. And we want. The race is on. Demise is a nice draw. allows us to pick off that messenger without creating a birdie. Unfortunately, they can just win here unless we can come up with something fancy. Now, it looks like we're dead to the Sphinx. Unless they are worried enough to block the Recluse. So we got to make them block the Recluse. Or I got to make them block the right creature, I should say. They should block the Roustabout, and then we lose. But they made the wrong block, so great. And it's not easy. It's not necessarily a mistake. I mean, if we have another skewer, they're dead if they don't make that block. So they played around the skewer, and that worked for us. So that's good. And caster still allows us to demise, so we'll caster and demise here. Didn't really matter. They were tapped out, right? I don't think they had any possible counters to any of that. Wow. I could give the Shaman haste, but it's the same amount of damage. Oh yeah, let's give the Shaman haste and win. Always look at the life totals there, Mr. Spain. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking this had haste too. Should be fine either way. It's very A or B whether or not you riot the Shaman in this spot, because it's going to be a two-turn game no matter what. Alright, it was enough. Right, because we Shaman the obligation, and then the others get through. Tight one. Woo! 1-0 is not a finish you see too often in a Magic game. Sorry, 1 to -1, but only because they blocked that way. No, I guess the Shaman was going to get through no matter what. All right. Esper Control. They got some consigns that seem good for us. Like they played 2 Consign the Pits against us. I don't want to bring in the Mockery. I don't think it is the right play. We can assume that there's some aura-based removal, though, and bring in a Scavenger for, like, maybe the Wrecker. Yeah, that was a good game. Oppo had it. Oppo gave us the win, but they didn't know they were doing it. They were making a deliberate choice to not lose to Skewer, and in doing so, they gave us a chance to come back and win. That was cool. We could go to 16 here. Maybe this is one to do the 16 maneuver on. Go put that back and do something like. Oh, why did that leave? That was not intentional. Glad I saw that. I think I like maybe doing this time, going a little tighter. Try this. Actually, though, I want to do the other Vamp. I don't think Grudian matters much. Two land in 2 draws gets us white Trumpeter, and I'm going to keep this. Keeping the 1-lander. It could lead to a dumb-looking game that we just lose without much competition, but if we get even 2 lands in the first, say, 3 draws, or if we get a land in the first 2 draws and 2 lands in the first 3 or 4 draws, I think we'll be fine. So yeah, worst case scenario there. Unfortunate. I'm going to discard a Trumpeter because they're bad in multiples. punished once. We'll see. We have at least one more play to make. We'd like to find some red mana, of course. We have 2 more plays to make, actually. There we go. So punished, but only for 1 turn, and now looking pretty decent, right? Send in the Plague white, and we have the deck available in case of tricksiness over there. And given that, let's go ahead and try the Shaman. All right. Bellhaunt, you say? Well, we could combine Bedeck plus Daggercaster to get rid of that eventually. Probably just going to use Bedeck to... yeah, Bedeck's weird as a combat trick. It doesn't quite do what you want unless you have First Strike going on. Need that caster. Vampire, one of our better cards. Bedeck is removal. I guess it's the other Trumpeter. Not happy about that, but... oh yeah, Bedeck and white would do it, right? That's a good point if they block there. Although the Shaman just makes it so they can't, so they're kind of going to be looking at this as a race, I think. We could do Fireblade Artist... and then have Bedeck ready. Kind of like Fireblade Artist, Bedeck something later. Oh, we can race, we can race, we can race. That life gain helped him, but we got some racing tools here for sure. Could Bedeck the Ministrant so that the caster gets the 1/1s that come down, and it saves us 2 here. But if they cast something like a Thrall of their own or something, like I want to be able to Bedeck a Thrall or something, I'm going to risk it, take the 2, and see if there's something better to Bedeck before the end of this turn. Well, there is now. We're going to go ahead and make sure the Haunt is part of this destruction. And I'm going to Vamp here for max mana, I guess. Terramander is going down to the caster, which is great. I'll save the mountain because we might want to pitch it to the Vandal. And we'll do this, though. And then I'll even offer the Vampire for the Drake. Because we are... I don't like this guy up in the air making the race difficult. We got another Hasty, though. We can maybe do Haste and ditch the mountain, find some action. Yeah, double Drakes. That's pretty good. Alright, now we need to... Burning Tree Vandal, attack, pitch the mountain, and find a... find the removal spell. We didn't use that already, right? We got Skewer. Skewer's what I was trying to come up with. So Skewers are only out here. If we don't find it, we go to game 3.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
Make him attack. Stranger things have happened. All right. Well, I think I made a risky keep that produced a competitive game. If we had found that land one turn earlier, I think we have that race in hand, and we probably come away with that one. But faltering us, time walking us was too much. Thought we could recover from a single time walk, but it was too much. So I think I'm going to run this back, though. I like the aggro build on the play. And the draw in this matchup. Yeah, I like this. Missing red, but a couple of whites are an easy keep. Cry is a card we have to keep in mind, figure out how much of our board to commit in the face of possible cries. I guess I'm going to play the Trumpeter because they haven't committed anything to the board. And it survives Cry. Hey Maze, thanks for the follow. We'll trade for the Grudian here. That's a good sign too. Probably means they don't have the Cry, at least not in hand. That is a lot of black mana. Offer the same trade. I don't love it, but I am going to play the Scavenger here. We may be 2 for 1-ing ourselves, but we're 0 for 3-ing ourselves by not being able to cast these red cards, so I want the Scry 2. And there you go. Let's get rid of these swamps. It's also a nice beater, Interesting that they're chumping already. Not sure what that means. I shuffled, but maybe my opponent undid all my hard work. Alright, so we can get their whole squad thanks to the mountain showing up right on time. Oh, could have gotten a Ministrant too, but I'm happy. Ministrant can't even trade with any of this stuff. White laughs at tokens, and Rakdos Roustabout always... Ooh, now let's be a little careful. No, it's fine. We have 3 toughness, 3 toughness, so if they've got Cry, we only lose our 2 creatures, and they basically lose the game by losing their own defenders. Alright, we're just gonna pick the Thrall right out of the sky and get in. I'm not going to play it. Again, Cry just doesn't make any sense for playing that Maka. Not that Cry would be bad for us here, but it's still just no sense playing a Maka into that board, I don't think. Although I guess we'd have a win, like, yeah, it's the difference. No, we still get the win, right? They block our biggest and we still get through for 7. So I guess that was a consideration, but we got them. All right. Xaxes for win number 1. Oh, my record is all wrong. Everything's all wrong over here. Sorry about that. 1-0, and then our format is, in fact, RNA Bo3. And, in fact, the account is free to play. All right, let's do one more match, and then I'm going to call it a stream for the day. Play first. Well, here we are again, and it's the same kind of thing I said before that we saw last time, except this time we're on the play, and that's actually a big difference. The difference to me between having 2 shots to draw at a land to make this hand good to great, and also we had 2 whites, you know, so we have to mulligan this one, even though it looks very similar to one I just kept. Ugh. We're going to keep this and hope for a flood of curve out. That's a fine start to our flood of curve out. Can you get curve out flood? I want curve out flood. Oppo is starting their curve out flood. My weird little nemesis. The heavily played unplayable Thirsting Shade. It's happened before. But yes, Double Shade is kind of the quit magic moment. Can't lose to the Double Shade or you have to quit magic. I doubt we'll lose to the Double Shade. If we lose, it will be to something else. Oh, Daggercaster, where are you? Where are you, Daggercaster? Our stream turns its lonely eyes to you. Oof, that hurts too. Let's see, do we care about demising the Caracal? Yeah, I think I'm going to attack and demise the kitty. Weird thing to use a demise on in this format, but here we are. Yeah, try the block, Oppo. Maybe it'll work. Go for the trade. I am worried about losing the race, yes, but not to the point that I'm going to stop attacking and offer Plague Whites for Thirsting Shades. I'm hoping still to find a creature-based answer to these Thirsting Shades. I mean, now it's a problem. And now, yeah, now with the ill-gotten and the flood out, I have to actually start... Okay, I can get this sentence out. I think I have to start blocking Thirsting Shades with Plague Whites. Whew, there, I did it. I said it. Yeah, I'm worried about this race. Very much so. Can I afford to do both? If we do the one, we can save the white for the officer, which is now a more significant threat, so I'll do it this way. Yeah, Daggercaster, but Flood is bad here. Probably losing us this game. Oh, Draconis, we've just started the... This is a match, though. I get a chance to come back and win, too. Also, we mulliganed and then flooded, so... I'm not gonna put too much of my pride on the line on this particular result. Kinda don't want to show him anything else. I'm just gonna scoop it. Like, we can't win here. Aggro Orzhov, you say? Guess we can put in Vamp. Maybe over Rebel Belt. Go the slimline route again. But for what? Like maybe a slinger? Just to get a... Yeah, they're doing some afterlife, so I like the slinger here. Undercity, is it good? I mean, Orzhov doesn't... I mean, they might have sky tethers or something, but mostly Orzhov is just actually killing your stuff. I don't think I want to do it unless I think I'm facing enchantment removal. I'm going to go with this. Still no twos, but we're going to keep this. See if we can find one on the top. 8 2-drops. Show us one of them, please. There we go. Thank you. And we got the Daggercaster in hand this time. Oh, yes. Yes, bring them, bring them. Don't bit me, bro! No! Oh, God! Can you figure it out? Can you read the Daggercaster? I would read the Daggercaster if I were you. Or maybe they'll drill bit my drill bit because they have something insane. I don't know. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oppo. Maybe they just know we're never going to draw another land. And I could drill bit them here, but I'm gonna... Yeah, it could be. I better do this just in case. think IGI is the problem here. And we hope they cast... find a land and cast this stuff. Twilight Panther is going to get something. Yeah, we got to get rid of the IGI. They know about the caster, but they also don't seem to respect it or are worried enough about it. I'm going to leave the caster there and just drop that and see if they're willing to put more 1 toughness on the board if they find some land. I mean, the slinger attacks for the same amount. Yeah, we can attack with both. We've got Trumpeter White to follow up. If we don't draw anything else to do, we're going to cast away the Thirsting Shades and not get greedy about this. Well, Clamor Shaman is something else to do, though. But it's better. I like caster, attack with everything, and then have Shaman to nullify whatever blocker they may come up with next turn. What did I say? What did I mean? Hear what I mean, not what I say. Come on, chat. Oh, I see what you're saying, cat. Funny. Alright, I think we got it. They just didn't get their second land and didn't really play a game of Magic. I'm going to run it back. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today. We are in our last game of the day. I got some shipping to do. Some orders came in. For those of you who don't know, I have a little store that I'm building up over on TCG Player. If I have something you need, well, I'm happy to sell it to you. We'll keep this. We got a Curve Out. Not our strongest cards, but a Curve Out. Word of mouth helps me a lot as well. Mentioning to Magic players you know that you watch my stream is really great for helping new viewers find me. We got Vampire on 3 now instead of Slinger. Into Wrecker on 4. And Trumpeter is going to allow... Trumpeter is almost certainly going to get through and turn on Skewer. So that's another option, especially if we draw a 2-drop. If we draw a 2-drop, we will probably Skewer the doggy and drop a 2. Not to be confused with Bathroom Talk. cast a 2-mana spell. Wow, they're stuck on 2 again. Sorry, Oppo. That stinks. Interested in buying dual lands? I love buying old stuff. If you got old cards to sell, I'll buy them right up. I try to be competitive with Card Kingdom on buy prices. I think most people who have their heads in the secondary market game would agree that Card Kingdom is the benchmark standard of what you can get straight cash today for a Magic card. And so I try to match them, because if I don't match them, what are you selling to me for? Go sell to Card Kingdom. No, they didn't give me keys to that vault, but I certainly left WotC with a lot of product. It's definitely part of the reason I'm doing it. A lot of my, let's see, what am I doing here? We're gonna drop the vampire. A lot of my life philosophy since leaving WotC has been about taking small steps forward that set me up for a lot of possibilities from there. So like, hey, streaming, I'm not sure how that would go, and I don't know, you know, the different ways streaming could go are pretty wide and varied. But I knew at the bottom line I wanted to play Magic on Arena every day, so why not turn on the camera while I'm doing it? And then I figured it could go different ways. I could stop streaming because it wasn't working out at all. I could build up a decent audience and have something solid to build on if I go back to full-time work. Something weird could happen and I could become an international streaming superstar, right? Like, I'm not expecting that, but that's just the range of stuff when you take on these challenges. I think I'm just going to attack in here, and actually we could skewer. Yeah, I'm going to offer the vampire up, and the trumpeter. They can have any of this that they want. Sorry, let's see. Yeah, I want to do this. So anyway, in a similar vein, starting this store was like, hey, I left Wizards with a lot of product, and I've got time on my hands. Instead of just selling it off or putting it in a closet, I can start a TCG player store and try and move some of my WotC cards that way. And again, it's a jumping off point. Hey, it turns out if I can find a way to buy lots of collections and actually keep a flow going, maybe I can build up a store digitally. And then, hey, maybe like the gold ring, unrealistic but possible kind of conclusion of that would be, hey, I open a physical store someday, or But it doesn't matter. That's not the plan. It's just that my immediate need is to convert all of this cards I have into cash, and so I'm doing it this way, and maybe it leads to something better in the future. I'm going to go with the Wrecker with a counter here. Yeah, commentating is something I could see getting into. I'm just trying to keep all my options open, and leverage what I've got, which is a lot of Magic on my shelves and a lot of Magic in my head. So we're seeing what we can do with that. Man, Oppo has had a rough time of it here. And I would say I almost didn't... It's hard for me to say, Nantuko, that my current numbers or whatever exceed or meet expectations, because I didn't set any, because I knew that at a baseline I wanted to try it again. I wasn't concerned with metrics, because I'm going to play this game every day. I might as well turn on the camera and see what happens, and then and just kind of take it from there. So that's how I've been approaching it. Let's go ahead and get the Rubble Slinger and the Plague White down. And I'm really sorry, Oppo. Oppo must be annoyed at me as I'm look to be slow rolling or playing super slowly when they're in a really bad spot. So apologies for that, Oppo. I'm not trying to be cruel here. Now, with the Panther activation, Let's see. It still can't get anything but the Slinger. And if they want to give up the Panther for the Slinger, I'm happy to do that. So I'm not going to bother skewering it. Actually, no, I will attack, though. Why not? Like, sure, if they want to trade with the Rubble Belt Slinger, why not? I don't care. Attack away. But I'll say that just from a gut feel standpoint, the reaction and the support I've gotten on this stream has exceeded my expectations and has felt great. So Oppo made that necessary trade. They're going to try and get one good play in here, and I'm going to try and make it not matter. I could just put him to 5 here, but there's no need to do that. Unless they could drill bit me or something, but we'd be happy if they spent a turn on a drill bit. Yeah, Wrath would be bad. I think this just gets us there now between the Storm Strike and the Skewer. Three, yeah, we just get there. On the Skewer. Yeah, I could pump the Trumpeter. I don't. There was nothing for one white that was going to stop us from winning, so it really didn't matter which angle we took to close that out. All right, we dropped that first game, but found 2 more and defeated the double white deck, so that's good. And we're gonna call it a stream here. Oh, there was a question. Why did I stop at Wizards? I've answered that question in longer form, but I'll just say it was definitely time for a change, and some circumstances in my life at home and in my family situation and circumstances at work all had shifts and changes such that it was clearly the thing to do. And it's been a great year. I've been really enjoying the lower pressure of my life in the last year. It's been lower money, but life is not all about money. I've talked before about how money and happiness correlate up to a certain point, and then it stops correlating, and it's kind of up to you to find happiness. And fortunately, even thanks to my wife's career, we are at that point, even without me working at Wizards, where the happiness of me and my family is dictated not by our finances, but by our ability to, cope as humans in the world. So with that, like that's what's been great about this, reinventing my life in a way that has given me a lot more emotional and spiritual peace with the lack of stress, And there's new stresses, let me tell you. Trying to juggle all the stuff I'm trying to juggle right now is pretty stressful, but it's stressful in a very fulfilling, I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it on the things I love kind of way that is giving a lot more value than the way I was feeling like a year ago today. So, and a lot of that is from you all. Thank you for helping build my community and hanging out and figuring out these draft formats with me. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We'll finish up this draft and get another one in. And I hope you come back and join me and see if we can get this sweet Rakdos deck to 5 wins. And let's head over now to see who's on and see who we might want to go a rating.